1975 was high time for jazz rock around the world as the influences of Return to Forever, Mahavishnu Orchestra, and now Jeff Beck were being picked up upon by musicians, from Europe to South America to the Far East to Australasia. And in Germany, world-class drummer Curt Cress just couldn't hold himself back any further. Having already played with Passport, he had to get on the action under his own name, and so he put out an album with his own group, the Curt Cress Clan. And from their singular album, CCC, the track Cyclone. Hear him work up that kit. Wow, it just sounded like he was surrounded by toms, like people like most drummers will have just like a few toms like this. It sounded like he was like spinning around like a whole like he was in a big circle of toms. That bass is struggling to get out of the just big like percussive bed of, misty, that lava that Curt has worked up here, and it's not going to be an easy task. Yeah, Kurt's like kicking up dust from the ground so thick that you can barely see or hear through it. Okay, now like an ostinato is taking shape. Notice how we've got like a few layers going now. We've got the ostinato, and then we've got the slower leads, the lead coming in. Got that kind of wiggly guitar tone. Guitar work by Volker Kriegel. Yeah, he put out some really good albums in this vein too during the time period. And the bass ostinato is courtesy of Dave King, who had been in Embryo. Dave King has some quite good credits to his name. The United Jazz Rock Ensemble, yeah, from the late 70s. Tender Aggression, he runs the gamut here. Snowball, yeah, Curt Cress was also involved in that. He put out a couple albums in the late 70s. Yeah, more on that in a bit. I love the jerkiness of that figure, that ostinato figure. and just the strange accents in it all. It's amazing how it's only got like two notes, and then the tonic just modulates, and then, up and down, and how something so simple can be so effective when you find the right way to accent it. And okay, that was Curt Cress Clan with Cyclone from the album CCC, and since that was so short, I'm going to play another. The track 451271. Stylistically somewhat different than the last one we heard. To show the range of that this album covers musically. Now already we've got kind of like sort of a Stanley Clarke-like bass figure, and it seems that Curt Cress is kind of a little bit more understated so far in this track, giving some other players a chance to shine here. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's strange how this is 4/4, yet it's the notes they're emphasized are strange. Or it's actually like 6 2. It's going like 6 2 6 2 6 2 something. That like kind of squeezed, fuzzy guitar tone almost sounds like a synth, like some kind of sound treatment on it. I guess played by Volker Kriegel, but I'm getting a very much blow by blow vibe from this, and also somewhat No Mystery. Because No Mystery will Return to Forever, we're going more into a funky vein. I think Constipated Duck comes to mind by Jeff Beck. I love the sounds in this. It's like you can picture all the shapes and all the splatters like on a canvas. It's all the squiggly lines of like an abstract. These are like different shapes, different colors, like in a spontaneously painted like abstract art piece. Or heck, it could be graffiti art back when graffiti art was interesting. Yeah, I love that. He's going up like it's like chromatic bum 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 da F sharp B. No, actually no. He's going. It's yeah. He's going. No, he's going. F sharp. A no. A flat A. And then just throwing in those slick licks. Where he's like throwing in kind of like doing some kind of like slide octave thing. I can't quite tell where he's beginning each of those. I can recognize the note that he lands on, but that where it begins, that where each of the slides begins, like that the low part where it begins. And those fuzzy accents are just priceless. Flugelhorn by Ack Van Rooyen is credited on this album. Oh, and he's got tremendous. Yeah, all these people are very decorated, lengthy list of credits going back. This guy. This guy is a lot. This guy. Ack Van Rooyen is over 20 years older than Curt Cress. Curt Cress was only 23 years old when he led this band. He was just becoming kind of. His legendary status was in the making as this album was being recorded. I love that cutting chord right there. Boom, bang. Maybe I guess there's a certain technique to that. Maybe he's not moving on the fretboard so much as he's hitting the string maybe in two different ways, which is producing two different kind of sounds, perhaps in the same key. I don't. I never really got. All I know about bass guitars is that is that they're more difficult to play than a guitar because the frets are wider apart, the necks are longer, the strings are thicker, and I think the top string, or no, the bottom string on a guitar is the top string on a bass, and and you have to have much stronger fingers to play them, and especially to play them well, and those strings are expensive. Of course, I would love to know how Volker Kriegel is getting that guitar sound. Just kind of like warm fuzz, and just the tonal control that he exerts over it the whole time. It kind of sounds like an EBow, similar, yeah, kind of different as well. And that was the Curt Cress Clan with 451271, a funky track off the album CCC, the singular release by the all-star Curt Cress Clan, made up of very accomplished musicians, with drummer Curt Cress at the center, all of 23 years old at the time, would go on to notch up many more accomplishments, but at that age already he had played with Passport on a few albums, and then as the 70s advanced would play with Lucifer's Friend, Triumvirate, have brief spells in both bands, Snowball, during the 1980s would play with Mike Batt, Pete Schilling, Alphaville, Freddie Mercury, Saga, the list just goes on and on and on. He wouldn't do another album under his own name again until 1983, but he's been one busy guy doing soundtrack work. Played with Spliff, band that had some of Nina Hagen's backing players in it. Great like modern rock synth pop band. Michael Cretu, yeah, just been all over the place. Hubert Kaw. Yeah, and this, of course, was just one of many just vintage gems of the jazz rock explosion of the mid-1970s, where all the best elements of rock were fused with the best elements of jazz, bringing out the best of both worlds. You had the raw power and just sharp, searing, tonal sonics of rock combined with the chromatic fluidity and harmonic, harmonic density and expanded chromatic potential of jazz. As musicians were just pushing themselves to new frontiers of skill and exploration in the metric and harmonic sense. And it was just all about the music and making the best music possible, like on all fronts, tonal, harmonic, melodic, you know. And yeah, for more Rubies and Sapphires from the Curt Cress Clan CCC album, see the directory of albums by German artists linked in the description below. The directory is currently over 1,100 albums strong. Got dozens upon dozens upon dozens of jazz rock albums from the 70s and 80s, like bands like Syncrisis, Embryo, Passport, yeah, you name it, Altona, Era, yeah, Alcatraz, there's so many of them, Thirsty Moon, Subject-esque, yeah, see it, and you could spend years working through all the reds, purples, queue them up at your own leisure. And leave a comment in the description if there's any comments you'd like to add, any observations you'd like to add. Maybe you were able to pick out like the metric counts a bit more accurately than I could. If there's anything I was trying to explain but couldn't quite explain, and you know the answer to, yeah, let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media and hit the bell to know when the next video is coming out. Like and subscribe, and until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.